G'day, welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the first time, welcome. It's good to have you here. So I've been away for a couple of weeks. I apologise for not doing a video. I apologise for not doing a live stream from Bali. It wasn't exactly as busy as I thought. I couldn't find a decent bar to do a live stream from, but needless to say, I had a great time. I was very relaxed. What I did find was the ground zero from the Bali bombing, and there will be a video coming on that. Other than that, nothing really has changed. I've got the tattoo. It's not quite completely healed yet, so I will show you the tattoo in the next video when it's completely ready. That'll be in about 4 days time, 5 days time, sorry. Right, today's video is about a pair of gentlemen, which I believe are from New York. Just got a little bit more investigation to do on these two, but they are, I won't say uneducated. They can read, they can write. I don't mean that uneducated, but somebody has whispered in their ear, you know, we don't need a license, we don't need insurance, we don't need registration, etc., etc., etc. And they have then gone on to produce a video that profess to the entire world that you don't need a license. Let's have a look.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Once again, it's your brother Tyler Doc, and on my left I have Priest Malik. Alright, what we would like today is to briefly go over a right, not a privilege, a right that you have to travel on these highways and byways.
So first of all, forgive the glasses. I need them to read. So here we go again with misinformation given out by individuals who insist on cherry picking from court cases and the Constitution.
This is a right that you cannot be deprived of by any judge, by any policeman, by any prosecutor. You have this right. And what the brother Malik is going to do right now is, you know, when the policeman pulls you over, they like to pull you into these traffic courts, which is an illegal court.
What?
Why is it an illegal court? Because according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic, you have a right to a trial by a jury of your peers. A trial by jury. So let's read that 6th Amendment to prove all things.
In all criminal prosecution, the accused shall enjoy the right to the speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state district where the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by the law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process of obtaining a witness in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense.
Okay, sir, let's take a look at the 6th Amendment. This is the 6th Amendment to the United States Constitution. It sets forth rights related to criminal prosecutions. It states that the 6th Amendment grants criminal defendants the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury consisting of jurors from the state or district in which the crime was alleged to have been committed. However, it goes on to state that the right to a jury applies only to offences in which the penalty is imprisonment for longer than 6 months. You will not be sentenced to more than 6 months for a speeding ticket. This is the New York Safety Council website. Although it is less common, a judge can impose a jail sentence of up to 30 days for a speeding ticket violations in New York. So, in New York, and I'm pretty sure this will be across the country, you will never ever be sentenced to more than 6 months imprisonment for a speeding ticket. Therefore, you cannot elect to have a trial by jury.
Okay, so right there, that proves that we have a right to a trial by jury. Now, you also have an option. You have a right to waiver your right. So now, if you voluntarily go into these traffic courts and you don't approach them appropriately and don't demand a trial for by jury when you're first subpoenaed to go to these courts, then you're gonna be pulled into this madness. But what we want to go into is the right to travel. You don't need a driver's license to travel.
All right, boys, you seem to have this one. Let's see your evidence.
You need a driver's license to drive. There's a difference between driving and traveling. According to Black's Law's dictionary, to drive means some form of commerce is involved, which means you're transporting, i.e. cargo, or you're transporting passengers. Now, if the policeman pull you over and asks you how many passengers do you have in the vehicle, he's trying to get you to sign a verbal contract, because a passenger is suggesting that commerce is involved. Means someone is paying you to transport them from one location to another. So those people in the vehicle with you are not passengers, they're visitors.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Yes. And you're not driving, you're traveling. And you have a right to travel from point A to point B. Which article was that, brother, again? It's in this Constitution. But look for this. Which article was that?
It's actually in the Articles of Confederation.
Articles of Confederation.
The Articles of 1781 came into force after the 13 states that were present at the time had a meeting between 1776 and 1777. These articles were, at the time, merely a guideline until 1789. The Constitution was born and ratified and came into force. The Constitution then of 1789 superseded the Articles of Federation. It gave birth to the federal government, the court system, taxation, and of course, the president.
Now, while he's getting that Article of Confederation, now I would like to say for many years, these so-called professional people within the criminal justice system have actually acted upon the belief that traveling by a vehicle is a privilege, but it's not. Wrong. It's a right. It's a right. We have a right to travel on these highways and byways. It's not a privilege that's gained after someone is approved by some respected governmental agency in the form of a permit or a driver's license.
This is correct. Each and every single US citizen has the right to drive or travel on a road in America. However, the 10th Amendment decreed that each state may apply their own rules and regulations in relation to their state. Part of those rules and regulations was that the state may impose conditions on driving licenses, i.e., you need a driving license to drive on the roads in that particular state.
It's a right that you have that you don't need a driver's license for. The legislators, the policemen, the court officials, all are actually being made aware of this because there's a small remnant of people that's raising up now and saying, listen, we have a right to travel. We're not driving. I'm traveling from point A to point B. And when you're traveling, your vehicle don't need to be registered.
You serious?
Your vehicle don't have to have insurance on it.
That's the funniest damn thing I've ever heard!
In all but 3 states of the United States of America is insurance compulsory.
Chicago Motor Coach versus Chicago 1969 NE22.
This case is all about the city of Chicago, whether they would issue permits for a certain operator to operate within the city of Chicago, within certain areas. And it was denied and it was repealed. So this is not about traveling or driving licenses or anything like that.
Right now, it can be stated more conclusively that citizens of all states have a right to travel without restrictions, meaning you're not required to have this driver's license. And it's a right that's protected by the U.S. Constitution. And what I'm going to read to you is some court decisions that people enforced their right to travel and they was exonerated from these so-called tickets that the policemen decided to write them. Okay, the right to travel is a part of the liberty of which citizens cannot be deprived without due process of law under the Fifth Amendment, Kent versus Dulles, 357 U.S. 11625.
Not 100% sure what he's getting at here with the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution addresses criminal procedure and other aspects of the Constitution. What I think he's trying to get at is the fact that if a ticket is issued, then you take it to court and then you plead your so-called subset rights. Obviously, the other part of the Fifth Amendment is the part where you don't wish to incriminate yourself unless you've been Mirandaized, and in order to be Mirandaized, you need to be arrested. When you're stopped for a speeding ticket or a traffic violation, you are just merely detained to obtain information about yourself, the driver, the vehicle, registration, insurance, etc. So you're not actually arrested at that point. Therefore, you don't need to be Mirandaized. Therefore, you cannot plead the Fifth. Okay, let's look at Kent versus Dulles. I need to break this down a little bit more. Okay, so the gentleman is absolutely right. Kent versus Dulles, paragraph A, the right to travel is a part of the liberty of which a citizen cannot be deprived without due process of law under the Fifth Amendment. But what I need to do is I'm just going to expand this in a second to show exactly what the case was about Kent versus Dulles. So this is Kent versus Dulles expanded, and we look at it, it is 1958. What it basically says is that the government does not have the right to deny people the issue of a passport if or maybe they have communistic beliefs or they have concerns that they are part of the Communist Party. I think what they're trying to say here is that back in 58, I think it's just before Kennedy came into power, is that if you're a communist, you ain't getting a passport. You're not going to leave this country. And then it was decreed that under the Fifth Amendment, you have the right to travel. And hence, therefore, the government had to concede and issue people with passports. Absolutely jack shit all to do with driving licenses. This was about passports. Full stop.
Quit fucking cherry picking my constitution.
Why are we telling you this? Because this driver's license. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a driver's license, because if you want to do business, you need that corporation that's representing you as a person to do business. Say if you're a driver, you're a taxi driver, you're a bus driver, you're a truck driver, then you need that driver's license. But if you're just traveling in your ordinary automobile from point A to point B, you're not being paid, you don't need a driver's license. So when the policeman pulls you over, you treat him nice, you treat him with respect, and when you get him in court, then you defeat him with the law. Got anything to add, brother?
That's basically it right there, you know. I know to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, sound crazy because they never heard anything like this before, you know. But again, I say, knowledge is power. Seek knowledge, and you will understand what we're talking about. Peace.
Yes, folks, please seek knowledge, but only from reputable sources. And for all of you sovsits out there, for all of you Freemasons on the land,
Freeman of the land!
One thing that I don't like about our people, man, you sit around, a lot of you so-called complacent Negroes, you sit around
and bring
talk
each other down
and complain about what's not right, but you won't do something. You won't fight the system. Nothing's going to change until you fight the system.
Always searching for somebody, you know what I'm saying, like a leader to do it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Numbers is power.
And you sitting on the background, you go and get your picket signs, and you make a damn fool out of yourself. We want our rights.
And nothing
Negro,
changed.
you ain't got no rights until you enforce the Constitution. Because those civil rights, they're a joke. Civil rights, a joke. The Congress gave you civil rights, and they could deprive you of them.
That's like
whenever they want it.
That's like going to somebody's house and asking them for a piece of bread. That's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Whether they want to give it to you or not. That's what it is. Civil rights. To break it down, what must a person do once he's been pulled over? And he have no license.
Once you're pulled over, the policeman is likely to come up to you, driver's license, registration. Tell him apples and oranges. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, that's what it's equivalent to. When he says driver's license, registration, insurance, you tell him, I don't have any of that on me today, sir. I'm traveling, I'm not driving. I'm a free man on the land.
Free man of the land!
I reserve the right, according to the Constitution, to travel from point A to point B. If you don't understand that, sir.
Actually protected by the Constitution.
Right.
I have an unalienable right that's actually protected by the Constitution. It's not given to me by the Constitution.
Right.
Because once again, civil rights are given to you by the Constitution. Take a look at the 14th Amendment, you'll understand.
Also, if the policemen don't understand that you have a right to travel, then you request to speak to his superior officer and have him to come on the scene and explain it to them. However, if he refuses, as many policemen, as you know, if you've ever been pulled over by him, are very stubborn, and some of them are really corrupt.
Fucking lying. What a 42-carat plonker you really are.
He doesn't have to take you to the station. He doesn't have to cuff you and put you in a vehicle. Anytime that you're under his control and not able to move freely, he has arrest you. So what you're gonna do later is you're gonna file a suit for false arrestment. And if he decides to imprison you, you're gonna file a suit for that as well.
This guy is fucking stupid.